Hello, everyone. This is Amanda Steadman from Align UTV and Adam Shaw, the Heart Guy. And we are coming to you live, yes, live from the UK and Mexico. So welcome, Adam.
Hey, welcome. Big Mexican wave to everybody.
There we go. Now, just as a heads up, people, as this is live television, we do have an internet technician that is coming any moment to my place to sort the internet. So we might have a little bit of a shorter show today, but we thought we'd just get stuck in. And again, however far we get in will be as far as we get in. So our main aim today is just to go into, we've had a lot of interest and comments on people saying, hey, it's a bit of a crazy world out there. What are you guys doing to navigate this level of fear and chaos? And how do we kind of get back to that even neutral feeling so that we can cope with all the stuff that's going on? Because there's a lot of craziness from financial markets to politics to even health and what's going on planetarily over the last 3 months. So as that starting point, Adam, you are in the UK. Can you just give us a little bit of an overview of what you see is happening in the UK in terms of getting people scared and not really focusing on the power that they have inside?
Well, I think there's a lot going on in the UK to terrify people at the moment, especially with the government. It feels like we're being pushed to the very edge over here. There's all sorts of lunacy, absolute lunacy happening here right now. And there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of worry, and there's a lot of people stirring the pot. Because I think that is what they, whoever they are, the dark forces in the world, they want us all fearful, they want us terrified, and they're doing a really good job at the moment. So I think it's very topical that we deal with this today.
The other thing on top of that I want to make inroads in is the divisiveness of what's going on. I mean, you and I are both over 21, and we grew up in the 80s primarily, and in the 80s, it was still love and flowers, and music was amazing. I just remember everything being colorful. And the other thing I loved about my country is generally it was very accepting of all different cultures. If you walk down Notting Hill or Carnaby Street, or not Carnaby Street, what is it? Camden. If you go to Camden Market, you could be wearing anything and no one would bat an eyelid. It was very accepting. And one thing that makes me a little bit frustrated these days is there isn't as much tolerance. Even though it seems like there's more tolerance, I feel like there's less tolerance, and everything's got to have a label, everything's got to be in a box. We can't just accept each other as the way that we are, and things have just kind of gone to the extreme. So I want people to realize, number one, we don't need external approval, and number two, all those external forces like government, teachers, even employers to a certain extent, they don't have any control on how we feel inside. And many of us have gone into victim mentality, especially since the pandemic. So the message I really want to get out today is you are in the driver's seat. No matter what news, no matter what's going on in the world, you are actually in the driving seat. And that is the biggest illusion that most of us have seen over my lifetime. So any inroads to that, Adam, regarding the inner stability that's always there that we're told doesn't exist, pretty much?
Well, I completely agree with that. I mean, for me personally, and for every highly sensitive, empathic person I know on the planet right now, I believe that the vibrational shift is traumatizing us into waking up. Because it's not just little issues that people are going through at the moment. It's like heavy duty, major shit that's hitting the fan in people's lives right now. And it had to me and really took me down to a place where I was actually dancing with the energy of what it feels like to be suicidal. Now, I'm not here to say I was suicidal. I'm just saying I felt what it was like to be in that zone, to feel hopeless, to feel desolate. And from hitting that spot, it's like, well, you now have a choice. We now have a choice from here, that there's so much that's out of our control, so much out of my control. What can I do? And what this was bringing in all of this wisdom, all of this stuff that we've learned away, but not just knowing it, owning it. And how that showed up for me, I thought, I've got loads of stuff I need to do today. The sun came out on Monday. And the garden was actually a nice place to be. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do any of it. I'm going to go out. I'm going to work on my breathing. I'm going to ground myself. And then suddenly, I heard amplification of birds, and these two little robins arrived in the garden and just started bouncing around, just coming really close and then away, really close, then away, coming in. And the more that they did that, the more I was feeling my own energy and vibration raising and feeling uplifted by it all. And then I was guided to look into the message from a spirit animal realm. And I looked up the robin. And for me, it almost brought tears to my eyes when I read the message. It's like good luck is on the way. Things are about to change. The robin's a messenger. It's a harbinger for change, for luck. And luck has been a really big thing on the journey. And maybe I'd sort of lost that somewhere along the line. So that was how I brought it alive. That's how I thought. You've got to take control. Exactly what you said there. Get in that driving seat. There's tons that we cannot control, but the one thing that we can is our own vibration and energy. And that's really what happened. That's how I did it for myself. And I know you've been going through similar challenges as well there, Amanda. So, you know, how has it worked for you? How has it worked for you? How have you found that?
Well, as a mum of two teen girls, on top of running obviously a hypnotherapy practice and business coaching practice, there's always so much going on, and I deal with a lot of clients that have very heavy trauma. So anything from sexual abuse to eating disorders to the lighter stuff, which is I just want more confidence or I want more money. You know, I want to be more successful in business. It goes the whole spectrum. And the amazing thing that I find is that we can even just be a prisoner of our own mind. I deal with a lot of people that, as I say, have significant trauma, PTSD. And I have to admit, I did not realize the trauma that people went through until I went into this job, because I had a very normal, what I would call normal childhood. And then I realized that the majority of people, and I'd probably say even 3 out of 5, didn't have a normal childhood. And so they don't have the reference points for being calm and kind and centered. So I found even for myself and some of my clients, you know, you are a prisoner of your own mind. If you are going around and you're taking the past with you, you're reliving those moments over and over again, like a video that you didn't want to watch. And if we keep doing that, your body, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, are going to, the fight or flight response is going to bang again and again and again, because you're playing that in your mind. Also, for those of you that are stressing about the future and have a lot of anxiety, a lot of my clients have anxiety, again, from varying levels, from low to super, super high. And they're playing out the worst case scenario in their mind. And so what's really difficult is saying, okay, that's you. So why don't we just change those videos a little bit? So my job is really to go back in time. We work just like a computer. Go all the way back in time and say, hey, let's choose, again, that word's really important, choose a different past. What do you mean, Amanda, choose a different past? Yes, you can choose a different past, because your brain works like a computer. When you're in a nice, low hypnotic state, your subconscious mind can go back. It remembers every single thing, and you can go back, change the past, change the way you feel about it, and set yourself free. So you're not running the same pattern. You're not running those fear patterns over and over again. And for those that have anxiety, again, we can change the future by imagining the future and imagining something that's calm and is the best case scenario. And then we bring everything back to like where you are, the present moment, and you have those two different filters, those two different overlays. So that circle of control, which is you in the middle, your family, the world, universe, is all out here. But everything you have and you need is right in here. And all of that can be changed literally with your imagination. So I'm always blown away at the potential that we have just between here. It's phenomenal. So anybody that's in those darker states, I would really go and get help. Talk to either myself or Adam. We've both been there. We've both seen it done. We both have our own modalities on how to help people get out of that space, out of the fear, out of the anxiety. There is another way, and you totally have the power to change it. And it can happen in minutes, not years, minutes.
Yeah, I think that is that's a really good way of putting it as well. And it's a great quote from Richard Bandler, who's one of the founders of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that says it's never too late to have a happy childhood. And I love that quote that really sort of summarizes what you're talking about there, is that everything happens in the here and now. And we can choose to look back at our past and be a victim of it, or we can choose to look back at exactly the same set of circumstances and realize it's like an immunity. It's our own immunization. It's brought us to where we are. It's given us the life lessons to develop every personality trait that brings us here now, grounded, having dealt with pain, having gone through that, and to really take a more empowered approach and thus improve the now of it. So I think that what you've just described is so relevant. There's victim energy and there's empowerment energy, and it's a choice, and it all happens in this little space, just in this little space here. And none of that is external, is it? All of the stuff, all the madness that going on in the world, well, it's your choice how to respond to it. And you can literally wake up one day and think, that's it, fuck it. No more victim me. I'm now going to be the most powerful version of myself and show up in that energy. And it sounds so simple, doesn't it, when you put it, yeah, but you don't know what I've been through. And people play this game. Remember top trumps at school? So many people play this game called trauma trumps. That's what I call it. It doesn't exist outside of my reality. But it's almost like you can tell a painful story about your past, and then there's someone to say, you think that's bad? This is what happened to me. And they trump you. They trump you with their trauma. And you can use your past as a weapon to take control of now, but to put everybody down. Or you can use your past to uplift people. And that's the difference between playing trauma trumps to, you don't know how bad it was to be me. I mean, no one really wants to hang out with that person. That's the problem that they don't have to wake up to. People prefer, people that have been there, they've hit the fan. It's hit the fan and they bounced. And, they understand what it's like to be in that low energy zone, but they also have the path out. And that sort of describes what you've done, and certainly the journey that you've been through, indeed, are going through in some respects at the moment. But I mean, you've always lived that path. That's why we've always stayed close, because I've watched you go through it. I've just watched you, the steps, everything that brings you down, there's a bounce, bring you down, there's another bounce, bring you down. And every single time that there is a glitch in the matrix or something that challenges you, it just gives you an extra tool, doesn't it, of how to deal with this. There's another, another tool, another useful tool.
Another perspective, a fresh perspective. And just building on what you said as well, again, we said that a lot of it's between the mind here, and you talked about hanging out with people. And that's the other thing that is just channeling through now is be careful who you spend your time with. And I know for me, because I'm an empath, I want to hang around with the people that maybe don't have enough money, don't have enough this, don't have enough that, because you want to help them. And one thing I've learned is to hang around people that maybe be starting there, but they have that willingness to change and that willingness to do something about it. But if you have an environment where you're not being supported all the time, and you don't have anyone like myself or Adam to talk to, go and find people that are ahead of where you are, that are who you want to be. And I've always done that, success leaves clues. So if you see someone in life, or you have someone in your life that is happier, successful, and again, truly not just the superficial Instagrammy I'm successful, but truly is a happy person, has happy people around them. You want to get in that sphere, because everything is a vibration. So if you're hanging around with guys that just say, yeah, got no money, life's bad, yeah, and you're going in a downward spiral. And I know this sounds really obvious, but you don't realize sometimes that your existing group of friends or your peers are actually not supporting that. They're kind of keeping you at the same level or down. And I don't mean this in an egotistical way either. I just mean find people that are at a higher vibration, because if you're in their slipstream and you're in their circle, then everybody moves up and lifts together. I have a business mastermind, and I also run a lot of meditations, and the quality of people that I attract are a very high vibration, because they want the good things in life. They want to be happy. They want to ascend. They want to have that kind of Zen feeling of connectedness, that everything's working out for them. That's where they want to be. And so we all hang out together and raise each other to a new standard. So another message I want to get to you today is, who are you hanging around with? what's their energetic vibration. Find a group who will help you rise to a different level, because it will change your life. And even Adam and I, we met in an environment where everybody wanted a better life in business and in just their general life. And by raising ourselves to a different standard and seeing things from different perspectives, we learned a tremendous amount in an experiential environment. Again, because we all wanted something better, and a lot of us, we all wanted, we were seeking that thing. So training and developing and investing in yourself is really important with the right people.
That is just so important. And to link into that, because of the way energy works that we now know, energy is a magnet. And if we don't set our energy, which is done again between here, we set our own boundaries on our energy, we set our own energy space. Now, before I knew how to do that, I didn't realize I was just going around being an empath, wanting to help people. And what I realized now, the big mistake, and I think that a lot of empaths make this mistake to link with the people we hang out with, is we take on board other people's energy. You want to help them so much, you're actually taking on board, you're taking one for the team. And the dynamic that that you're doing this is when you go and spend time with a friend or someone you want to help. And at the end of it, they go, "Oh my God, you're amazing. You've changed my life. I feel so much better now." And you feel utterly wrecked. You feel wrecked because what you've done is taken on board their energy, which is why you might feel better, because you're low self-esteem. You're just happy that they're happy that they've spent time with you, but you've taken a hit. You probably not get paid for it. You probably feel wrecked at the end of it. And I spend so much of my life doing that from a people pleasery sort of energy, from being a highly sensitive person and high empathy. And I think this is the mistake that so many people make. Our desire to fit in, our desire to want to be a part of a bigger group, regardless how much they leech off our energy, often trumps our need to do good for ourselves. So working with energy and setting our own energy space, and part of that is who are you spending time with, and what's the energy dynamic? Are you coming away uplifted from spending time with these people, or are you coming away feeling utterly drained? There's the energetic barometer of who you should be spending time with. I mean, whenever we spend time together, we both come away more energized than when we went in. And that's happened since I've known you. That's just good people, empaths. They go in and they share energy. They realize the win-win. I win, you win, and they lift each other. The trouble is there's so many energy dynamics where you've got people that drain on people's energy. They drain on energy by dragging you down, and you've got this dynamic going on. That person, narcissists do this brilliantly. The narcissists, the victims and narcissists are the same energy. Their energy goes up by taking from you. And this is what the energy power dynamic does. And that's how you know that you're spending time with the wrong or the right people.
And so that's another reason why Adam and I have got together to do this TV show, podcast, TV show, whatever you want to call it. It's a broadcast, it's a transmission. And so what we like to do is we tune in a couple of days before and kind of say, what does the world need to hear today? And we basically channel a lot of our information. We rely on plugging into consciousness, stroke the quantum field, and say, hey, give us what people need to hear today. So that's exactly how we work. And the other thing is again, we both need to make sure that we are consistently getting that information out there. Now, I've just actually been told that the internet technician is downstairs and is going to turn the internet off very shortly. So today's going to be a nice short one, people. So last words from me, just to summarize what we've said today, Mr. Adam Shaw, is
connect with
be
the
careful
universe.
who you hang around. Make sure you're hanging around high vibration people. I did say to the husband, bring him in, and he's too shy. So the technician guy did not want to come live with us. He's a bit
should
shy.
have come in. We should have got your thing in.
He's
So
a bit shy. And actually,
right
amazingly speaks English. Yeah. So yeah, make sure, and you are in the driver's seat. You're always in the driver's seat. So Adam, last words before we get taken off air.
So to summarize it all, connect with the right people and the right internet provider, and you will be sorted. And I do believe that that is the end of the internet transmission at Amanda's end. But what a great freeze frame for this video where she's frozen smiling at me. So what a win that is, folks. I don't know if we're still live streaming, but if we are, thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned with Amanda because she's doing some seriously good stuff.